Hello good people, and welcome back to another math video. This one on conversions from decimals to fractions and from fractions to decimals. Let's get started. First off, a short note about rational numbers. Now that we're talking about decimals and fractions, we're talking about rational numbers. What are rational numbers? Well, rational numbers include all integers plus fractions plus decimals. And if you remember, integers were all positive and negative whole numbers. So now that we're talking about rational numbers, we're really talking about kind of all of the regular numbers you can think of. All positive and negative whole numbers, plus all positive or negative fractions, and all positive or negative decimals. So pretty much all the regular numbers. When we move from a decimal to a fraction, this is the easy one. If you can say the decimal out loud, meaning if you can read the number correctly, then you just write down exactly what you said, and that's the fraction. Let's do an example. What is this decimal? Well, this is 9/10. So as a fraction, I'm just going to write exactly what I just said, 9/10. It's that easy. Let's do another one. What is this? 23/100. I'm going to write down exactly what I just said, 23/100. What if we had some maybe that were like a mixed number? Or a a decimal greater than 1. Well, I could have 2 and 15/100. What would this be as a fraction? Well, the 2 is the whole number. That's going to stay. So here's my 2. So it's kind of like that just went right here. Now, what about the 15/100? Well, I'm saying 15/100. And we also talked about in class, it's best if we can reduce these. Now, there's a few different ways to reduce fractions, but one is, let's see, are they both even? If they're both even, I can divide by 2. Now 15 is not even. Let's see, I could divide both of them by 5. So if I divided 15 by 5, I would get 3. If I divided 100 by 5, I would get 20. So this is really equal to 2 and 3/20 in lowest terms. So again, from decimal to fraction is easy. If you can say it, you just write down exactly what you said. Fraction to decimal is a little bit more complicated. Sometimes you get lucky and there's some easy ones. I'll show you an easy one. So easy ones are when it's already in, say, tenths. Like, for example, 8/10. This fraction is 8/10, so I can write 8/10 as a decimal. Or if it's out of hundredths, let's see, 37/100. Well, this one is easy. I'm already in hundredths, so I can write this as a decimal. I say 37/100. Those are the easy ones. But come on, most of the time we're not seeing perfect fractions out of 10 or out of 100, and we have to do a little bit of work. The work that we're going to do is some long division. Long division. And if we have any other fraction, let's say like 3/8, and this is a pretty common one, but it's not out of 10 or out of 100, so we have to do some division. A common phrase that was used was top dog in the house. Here's your top dog. Your top dog is going to go inside the division house. And then your other number is outside. So we are dividing 3 by 8. Does 8 go into 3? No, it does not. Well, you can always add a decimal and then add a 0 afterward, and you haven't changed the value. This is still 3. It's 3 and 0/10. But now we could say, does 8 go into 30? Yes, it does. Remember to move your decimal up. Okay, 8 goes into 30 3 times. Then we multiply. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract and get 6. A little erasing here, get this out of my way. Then I could add another 0 in here so I can keep going. Bring that down. Does 8 go into 60? Yes, 7 times. I multiply. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract again and get 4. I can bring down another 0. Does 8 go into 40? Oh, it goes evenly 5 times, and we are done. So 3/8 as a decimal is equal to 375 thousandths. Sometimes you might get one that doesn't seem to work out. For example, alright, remember we're going to put our top dog in the house and our other number outside. Does 11 go into 3? No, it does not. I'm going to add my decimal point so I can add a 0. Does 11 go into 30? Yes, it does. Bring my decimal point up. It's going to go 2 times. Now I multiply. 2 times 11 is 22. I'm going to subtract and get 8. Bring down a 0. 80. Does 11 go into 80? 11. It's almost like 10. It could go in a little bit less than 8 times. 7 would be 77. Subtract and get 3. Bring down a 0. Wait, this is starting to look familiar. Does 11 go into 30? Yes, it would go 2 times. 2 times 11 is 22. Subtract and get 8. Bring down a 0. 80. Okay. 11 into 80 goes 7 times. 77. 3. So what I can see is that this is repeating. I have 2, 7, 2, 7. It's going to keep repeating. I can see that. So I don't have to keep going. I can say that 3/11ths is equivalent to 27 hundredths, and I show that that's repeating by adding this bar over both numbers. So to do these conversions, really just 2 things to remember. Moving from decimal to fraction, just write down what you say when you read that decimal out loud. Moving from fraction to decimal, this is a little more complicated. You got to do some long division, and remember, top dog in the house. Okay, and that's really it. So just remember, when you're doing long division, top dog in the house. Alright, have a great day. Watch the video a couple times, and we'll tune in next time.